This video is about rotating an image about a point, an origin, or the point on an image, and identifying which rigid motion is being used to transform an image. So when we rotate, there's two ways to rotate. We can go clockwise or counterclockwise. So clockwise, remember we're moving like the arms of a clock, and counterclockwise, we're moving against the clock. There's 360 degrees in a circle, so when we rotate clockwise or counterclockwise, the two rotations should always add up to 360. So what rotation will take P to P prime? So P is where we're starting, we're moving to P prime. So if we go clockwise, we're going inside this angle, which is 75 degrees. If we go counterclockwise, we're going outside the angle. So remember that the whole circle is 365 degrees. So we're going to do 365 minus 75 to get our angle. So we get 285 degrees. So we'd be moving counterclockwise 285 degrees. Number two is a straight line. Remember, straight lines have a measure of 180 degrees. So if we are from P to P prime, to go clockwise, we'd go 180 degrees. And to go counterclockwise, because it's a straight line, we'd also be going 180 degrees. Number three, to move clockwise and counterclockwise. So if we're moving clockwise, we have to go outside the angle this time since P was the second point. So remember that a circle is 360 minus 40 means we're moving 320 degrees. If we're going counterclockwise, we're staying inside the angle, so we'd be moving 40 degrees. Number four, which figure is a rotation? So remember, a rotation, we're spinning around our object. So it can't be A or B. Those are actually reflections. It would be C. The car is turning upward now. Number five, which one is a rotation? So think about when I rotate, where that red flower is going to go. That red flower is always going to stay on the inside as I rotate compared to the orange, which is going to stay on the inside. So when I rotate, A is not correct. And C is not correct. So the only rotation that we could have would be B. So now we're going to use our rules of rotation to rotate a point around the origin. So these rules of rotation only work around a point of origin. So in number one, we're going to rotate TRY 90 degrees clockwise from the origin. Well, 90 degrees clockwise is this rule. So we're going to say whatever XY coordinate is, we're going to make the Y coordinate become the X. We're going to make the X become the Y, and we're going to switch the X coordinate. So let's find our points before we do anything. So T right now is -7, 2. R is -8, 8. And Y is -3, negative or +5. Now, if we're rotating 90 degrees clockwise, remember that every time we move 90 degrees is one quadrant. So if we're moving clockwise, we're going to have our image move to the first quadrant. This is a way to check yourself to make sure you're graphing correctly. So if I have the point -7, 2, based on this rule, my Y coordinate becomes the X coordinate, and I need to switch the sign of the X coordinate, which becomes the Y. So I now have 2, 7. R prime, same thing. The Y coordinate becomes the X, and I need the opposite of the X to become the Y. So R is now at 8, 8. R prime. And Y when I switch, 5, 3. is y prime. I'm just going to connect those 3 points, and now I formed my triangle. Number 7, try rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. So if I go counterclockwise now, 90 degrees counterclockwise is this rule. So I have x, y changes to negative y, comma, x. So I'm going to write this rule here. And again, I'm going to find all of my points. So if I look above the points from before, t was negative 7, 1, r was negative 8, 8, and y was negative 3, 5. Now I'm going to switch them, and the y coordinate will become negative first. So if I'm going counterclockwise, I'm going 90 degrees the other direction, which means that I should end up in the 3rd quadrant for my points. So when I switch this, I need the opposite of my y coordinate, so now negative 1, and the same x coordinate. So t prime is now at negative 1, negative 7. R is now at negative 8, negative 8. For r prime. And y, I'm going to switch and take the opposite, so this becomes negative 5. The x stays as negative 3. So negative 5, negative 3. And I've now formed my triangle. The last one, rotate TRY 180 degrees clockwise from the origin. So if I'm going 180 degrees, I'm going 2 quadrants. So I want to end up in the 4th quadrant. Let's look at our rule. So for 180 degrees, our coordinates stay in the same order, but they take the opposite sign. So it's now x comma y goes to negative x comma negative y. So remember to copy down your t point again. So our t is negative 7, 1, our r is negative 8, 8, and our y is negative 3, 5. So all I'm going to do is keep the same order but switch the signs. So t prime is now 7, negative 1, r prime is now 8, negative 8, and y prime is now 3, negative 5. So I can plot those points and then make my image. Now we're going to change and we're going to rotate about a point. So when you rotate about a point, you have to think about directions. So remember that we have 4 directions: up, down, left, and right. So if it says rotate 90 degrees about point Z, Z is not going to move. Z is going to stay at the same point. So let's try and move one of our points. So first we're going to move X. So originally when I move X, my original movement is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up is my original movement. Now when I rotate clockwise 90 degrees, my shape should be going this way. So at 90 degrees, instead of going up, my movement would now be to the right 5. So from Z, I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is my new X coordinate. Another point that I have to move is Y. So before with Y, I had to go 1, 2, 3 left. So if I rotate 90 degrees from going left, I'm now going up. So my new movement is up 3. So from Z, I'm going to go up 3. This is my new Y coordinate. Now, to get W is really easy because it's a box. We know it has to be at the corner where Y and Z meet. Another way to find that, though, is that looking at W from Z, I have to go left 3 and up 5. So my opposite movement then would be up 3, right 5. So if I went up 3, right 5, that also gets me to my W point. Number 11, rotate ABC 270 degrees clockwise about point B. So point B is going to stay the same. Now we're going 270 degrees. So if I'm going to go 270 degrees, I need to make 3 different turns. So for point A, right now to find point A, we'd go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I'm going 270 degrees clockwise, from going straight up, I would go to the right, down, to the left. That's my third turn. So now I'm going to go to the left 7. So from B, I'm going to go left 7. That's my new A coordinate. C, to get to C from B, I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to make 2 turns in this case. So instead of going up 275 degrees, 1, 2, 3, is now left 4, and 5 was right, so 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going up 5. So from B, I'm going to go left 4 and up 5, and that is my new point C. Let's try one more. So from 11, we're going to rotate 180 degrees, which is 2 turns about point B. So B is going to stay in place again. To get A, as we recall from the last problem, we used to go up 7. So 180 is 2 turns. 1, 2. So my new movement is to go down 7 from B. So I'm going to go down 7. This is my new A point. From C, we used to go up 4 and right 5. So for 2 turns, instead of going up, we're now going to go down 4. And instead of going right, we move 2. We're going to go left 5. So from B, I'm going to go down 4 and left 5. And this is my new C point. Number 12, using complete sentences, explain the transformation needed to move OWL triangle to triangle O prime, W prime, L prime. Perform each transformation separately on the graph. So first, I need to rotate this triangle around. So I'm going to say that I want to rotate, and I want O to get all the way down here. So in order to do that, and L to get over here, I need to do 180 degrees. Because if I go up, that's 1, 2 turns to get to L. So first I'm going to say rotate triangle OWL 180 degrees clockwise. So once I've done that, I now have O and L and W. Now my points are in the right place, but I need to move them so that they line up correctly. So in order to do that, I need to figure out, just pick one point. So I'm going to pick L. How do I move L to become L prime so that my triangles will overlap? So for L, I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 2 down. So next, we're going to say translate all points of triangle OWL right 4 units and down 2 units.